Worldwide Hippies presents Hippie News and Stuff with Winston Smith and the Worldwide Hippies News Team.
Welcome to Hippie TV News and Stuff for the week of June 5th. Brought to you by WorldwideHippies.com, news, commentary, and entertainment from citizen journalists around the globe. WorldwideHippies.com, media for the people, by the people. I am Winston Smith. Climate change for the birds? I'm your Venus. Well, not really. Age has its fragrance. The doc is in. Our asshole of the week and more. Top story. Besides the ongoing drug war, what the fuck is going on down in Mexico? Over the past year, Mexico has seen a rise in religious murders, human sacrifices, beheadings, dissections, starvings, bloodletting that seems to be endless. Some say it's the Santa Muerte religion, a satanic blend of Catholicism, superstition, Scientology, and old Amway training manuals. Last week, according to Reuters News Service, a mother in Mexico was arrested on suspicion of gouging out the eyes of her 5-year-old son during a ceremony. Police said on Thursday that they had arrested 7 people, including the boy's parents, after his eyeballs were pulled out during a ritual. The mother is believed to have removed the eyes of her son with her bare hands because the boy refused to close them during the ceremony, police told a news conference. Officers found the mutilated boy in his own home on Thursday morning before rushing him to a hospital in Mexico City for treatment. People fucking amaze me. And this, the hummingbird migrates over thousands of miles each year to feed on nectar from glacier lilies and other flowering plants that bloom in North America. A new research finds that they are struggling to sync up their schedules with the blooming flowers that help sustain broad-tailed hummingbirds during their breeding season. The study found that these plants are blooming 17 days earlier than they did in the 1970s thanks to climate change. In some years, the lilies have already bloomed by the time the first hummingbird lands, study researchers Amy McKinney of the University of Maryland said in a statement. The time between the first bird and the first flower has shrunk by 13 days over the last 40 years. If that trend continues, the hummingbirds will be entirely gone from the northern hemisphere in some areas in as little as 2 decades. But hey, if you look up this week, you can see Venus cross the sun's path without being obstructed by hummingbirds. It's a spectacle that won't repeat for another century, the sight of Venus slowly inching across the face of the sun. So unless scientists discover the fountain of youth, none of us alive today will likely ever witness this celestial phenomenon again, dubbed the transit of Venus. It is so unique that museums and schools around the globe are hosting Venus viewing festivities, all for a chance to see our stars sport a fleeting beauty mark. Even astronauts aboard the International Space Station plan to observe the event. Yes, the corrupt corporations that now own and run the space station are allowing the astronauts to look briefly out the windows. The drama will unfold Tuesday afternoon from the Western Hemisphere, Wednesday morning from the Eastern Hemisphere. Venus will appear as a small black dot gliding across the disk of the sun. As with a solar eclipse, do not stare directly at the sun. Wear special protective glasses.
These buds sure think, aren't they, bud?
I'm stoned. Budsy's got the best buds in town, and they won't let you down. And dank gifts, too.
Yeah, you said it, Bond. Budsy won't let you
Kill
down.
me, dude. Give me the meds. My arm is...
Budsy! Oh, yeah!
Budsy's here, bringing you fun. Budsy's gone. Bud's on the run. Get a big, wide, happy ear-to-ear Budsy smile! Oh, yeah!
For the best buds, best prices, and fastest delivery in town, who you call?
Budsy.
And now, from the only cool spot left in New Mexico and perched high atop the cosmological turtle is our own Dr. Woody with the answer to, where the fuck are we?
What's up, Doc?
Hola, hippies, paz en el barrio. I hope you're having a good passage of time, whatever length it may be. Winston, the kind words are always appreciated. We here are burning up in the southwest, although the fires are not here yet. And bugs, well, you know how we do kind of engage in a bit of, you might call academic humor. You might call it that. Seems like traveling in Bali one time, a cultural anthropologist named Clifford Geertz encountered a mahout who was bathing his elephant in the slow-flowing river. And pursuing his interest in how the common man understands the supreme questions, he asked the mahout, he said, "Sir, I know that you know the earth is solid and enduring, but where in the cosmos do you think it stands?" And this mahout replied, "Well, of course the wise men tell us the earth rests on the back of course, an elephant." And the anthropologist pursued the question. He said, "Well then, sir, I know the issue is more complicated than that. Where does the elephant stand?" Mahout says, "Well, of course, every child knows, I thought, Sahib, that the elephant stands on the back of a giant ox, a water buffalo. You see his horns, the stars in the heavens, don't we?" Mahout replied. The anthropologist then replied, "Well, of course they do. And but one further question, and then I'll leave you alone. Where does the water buffalo stand?" And Mahout replied, "Well, of course the buffalo, of course, we all know, the wise men teach us, it stands on the back of the eternal turtle." And the anthropologist says, and the turtle, where does it stand?" And Mahout says, "Well, sir, after that, Sahib, it's pretty much turtles all the way down." That's humor. Positive.
Thanks, Doc, but I prefer the Horton here's a who theory. And this, the results of publicly funded study supporting the cross-culturally popular concept of old persons smelling bad. When given whiffs from pieces of pads worn under the armpits of young, middle-aged, and elderly people for 5 consecutive nights, study participants could reliably distinguish the body odor of the elderly who were 75 and older, the researchers found. John Lundstrom, an assistant professor at the Monell Chemical Census Center in Philadelphia, said this is probably more due to the negative perceptions of old age rather than with the odor itself, being that the samples used for the study were labeled with the age of the subjects. Again, your tax dollars hard at work. Well, she may have an objectionable odor, but this is one sweet old lady. Watch her in this week's Instant Karma Files.
Instant Karma's gonna get you.
Thanks, Mom. A little extra cat food to Sunday dinner for your efforts. Oh, I hear it's time for our Asshole of the Week. And this week it goes to Joe Walsh. No, not that Joe Walsh, but the racist fiscal conservative who doesn't pay his child support has been proven to be a tax dodger and suspected mortgage fraud perpetrator. Joe is a racist and Worldwide Hippies is calling him out on it. Racist, tax-dodging, deadbeat dad tool for their corporate state Republican representative Joe Walsh is telling folks that it is the black welfare moms that is bringing down the economy. Racist, tax-dodging, deadbeat dad tool for the corporate state Republican representative Joe Walsh knows better. Statistics fly in the face of the stereotypical image of the black welfare mother having out-of-wed babies so she can stay at home and live large off the taxpayers. The majority of food stamp recipients actually are white, but racist, tax-dodging, deadbeat dad tool for the corporate state Republican representative Joe Walsh seems to be incapable of comprehending the reality in America today. Racist, tax-dodging, deadbeat dad tool for the corporate state Republican representative Joe Walsh seems to want to blame the state of the economy on government public assistance programs. But really, he's just trying to shift the blame from the real culprit, which we all know is corporate welfare. And doing so by repeating racist lies over and over again, playing to the racist tax-dodging tools for the corporate state, that being the Republican base. And for that, you, racist, tax-dodging, deadbeat dad tool for the corporate state Republican representative Joe Walsh, living proof of the spore theory, our Worldwide Hippies asshole of the week. Well, that's it for this week. For more real news every day, check out worldwidehippies.com. Media for the people, by the people. And support Worldwide Hippies by visiting our store, where you can purchase one of our tank tops. 100% cotton and blazoned printed with our own logo. Or you can purchase a bumper sticker. 100% vinyl, guaranteed to piss off the man. Or how about some moonbeams in a jar? These are exclusively made for Worldwide Hippies. The only place you can find them on the web is our store. They come in 2 sizes, his and hers. All have a black rope necklace that comes with them. You can also get them in glow-in-the-dark if you'd like. Also, if you visit our store, pick up a copy of Hip Poetry, Worldwide Hippies' first book. This is a book of poems and essays from over 50 well-known authors from around the globe. Or just make a donation right there on the site. It will be appreciated. And that would also allow us to keep up the howl for peace and justice. And you will see us here next Monday.